Hella Cinema back, another dish. How we doing out there? Good, great, grand, yan, wonderful. As you see on your screen, your dial, however you are unfortunately choosing to join us today, Five Fingers of Death, a.k.a. King Boxer, a.k.a. number one fist in the world. We are officially starting a 12-episode fucking endeavor, fucking adventure, fucking chore is what we're doing right now, because the people at Arrow were nice enough to send me, and I'm happy. Like, I'm happy to do this, but when you think about 12 movies and you already have a fucking full-time job and you gotta get this out in a timely fashion, well, it may or may not make it so fun for the kid doing it. But, so this is part one. This is the longest series that I've done. I believe there was a 7 or 8 part series with those William Griffey films, also released by Arrow Video. But now we are walking down a road that I don't mind walking down. However, and this is the disclaimer for the next 12 to come, I am starting new things in my life. This podcast is going to come to an abrupt halt. But my promise to you is I'm going to get these 12 films done before I shut the Electric Circus down. Okay? 1, because I fucking love Kung Fu films. 2, I think let's get a younger audience hip to these films again, where it all started. You know, you can't have John Wick without Five Fingers of Death. You can't have the list would be obscenely long. Okay, so what I mean is, as far as, don't expect great coverage, okay? Well, for one thing, I'm busy. Number 2, I have a real problem doing films that I think have been reviewed into the ground. Okay, I don't do the Marvel stuff. I don't like, and I would like to. And if I were to sit down, with somebody, from the film of Marvel or whatever, of course I would do it, or someone from the crew, of course I would do it. It's just, I guess I operate under the assumption that if they're classics, they have enough people talking about it, and they don't need some mediocre voice adding to it. Because I promise you, you will find a better synopsis, and at least from the sounds of it, the sound of more love for the product. And it's not that I don't love these things. I'm just saying that people are better at this than I am. So, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm starting a new life. These I'm gonna do only because A, I think everybody should know, be hip to Shaw Brothers and the Titan that it was, and B, if a distributor is nice enough to send you something, take the fucking time. Now, I know, and I'm going to do the same shit that I did with the fucking William Griffey box set. I'm not going to review the box set. That's lazy, I'm not going, well, I am reviewing the box set, but I'm not going to, my one review isn't going to be for the box set as a whole. It is going to be for each and every single movie in the box set, because that is how it's done. Okay? Enough rambling. King Boxer, a.k.a. Five Fingers of Death, a.k.a. number one fist in the world, is a 1972 Hong Kong martial arts film directed by Chang-wa and starring Lieh. It was produced by Shaw Brothers Hong Kong Limited, the largest Hong Kong movie production studio at the time. Quite possibly the world. At least what they were turning out. If we're talking sheer volume, nobody did it like Shaw Brothers. Nobody will do it like Shaw Brothers. It will not be attained. Okay? You achieve some of that stuff by shitty work environment. It's just like from what I gather from Shaw Brothers Studios, that at any given moment there was 3 to 5 films on the lot being shot at the same time. Do you have any idea how fucking crazy that is? Do you have any idea how lucrative that is for 2022? I don't think you do. But we will never see anything like that ever again, I promise you. The script was written by Yang, made in Hong Kong. It is one of the many kung fu movies with an Indonesian-born actor Lieh as appearing in the lead. He appeared in similar martial art film efforts from the 1960s, predating the more internationally successful Bruce Lee. Released in the United States by Warner Brothers in March of '73 as Five Fingers of Death. By the way, this is Quentin Tarantino's favorite movie of all time. Favorite movie of all time. A lot of the audio cues that you hear in Five Fingers of Death, King Boxer, you've heard in Kill Bill. You've heard in Tarantino films. You've heard. I mean, it's just like his love for spaghetti westerns, you know. And this is his favorite of all time. And in fact, I believe some of you that are hip to the Dragon Dynasty collection, I've had the curator on my show before, Bay Logan. The Dragon Dynasty collection actually has a commentary with, I believe, Quentin Tarantino and scholars David Shute and Elvis Mitchell. But nevertheless, if you want to hear Quentin Tarantino talk about his favorite film of all time, if you can find a print of the Dragon Dynasty DVD, and it is DVD, not Blu-ray, if you can find that print, I strongly urge you to get it. Well, any of the Dragon Dynasty, those releases were top fucking notch. Released in the United States by Warner Brothers in '73, Five Fingers of Death, the film that capitalized on the success of Warner's TV series Kung Fu, if you remember that, with David Carradine, and was responsible for beginning the North American Kung Fu craze of the 1970s, with over 30 similar films being released in the U.S. In '73 alone, 30 Kung Fu films. How many Marvel movies do you get a year? That's right. So just keep it in context. Warner followed it with the first ever U.S.-Chinese Kung Fu co-production with Enter the Dragon, released later that same year, and was the most successful, whoever wrote that, of the Chop Saki films. Anyway, a promising young martial artist named Chao has spent most of his life studying under a master whom he has fallen in love with his daughter. After the master fails to properly fight off a group of thugs right in the beginning, Chao goes to study with a more superior master, which is Shun Chin Pai. Shen Pai. Take a drink. He instructs Jiao to learn from the Chin Pai and Chin Pei, god damn it, and defeat the local martial arts tyrants. Ming Dong Shun, who was one of those tyrants, and they needed to defeat him in the upcoming tournament in order to earn Yin Yin's hand. And then that's when the dad/master will give it up. Chao meets a young female singer on his travels, Yang Chu Hung, and on the road to the city, going to learn his new moves, well, of course, he rescues her from Dong Shun's thugs. She falls in love with him, but he resists her advances with a little bit of difficulty. He reaches town and begins studying under Sun Chin Pei. After initially beating Chin Pei's star pupil, Hong Lung, Chao improves rapidly. One day, another thug of Dong Shun's, and his name is Cheng Lang, I believe that's forehead, breaks into the school and beats up all of Chin Pei's students. It's pretty sweet, too. He throws someone through a wall, and one of my favorite parts is he throws a man head first. This is a man taking another man, and he throws him head first into the ceiling, and it's fucking great. It's so great and brutal. This movie's brutal. Excellent use of the blood in terms of the spraying. Now, granted, it's bright red blood, but in terms of the spraying and the use of it, perfect, at least for me. Initially beating Qinpei's star pupil Hsiung, Chao improves rapidly. One day, another thug of Dongshun's Chen Lang, the forehead guy, breaks into the school and beats all of Qinpei's students. Qinpei finally arrives and fights him, but is struck by a dishonorable blow and is severely wounded. Chao tracks Chen Lang down and defeats him. But when Qinpei hears of this, he selects Chao to receive his most deadly secret, the iron palm technique. Even though if you look at Wiki, it says iron fist. Untrue, at least on the Arrow Blu. Oh, I'm so glad that these got a Blu-ray release. I can't even tell you how fucking stoked I am that these got a Blu-ray release. Do you have any idea how much of a bummer it is to watch a fucking legit, almost 2-decade-old DVD on a 4K TV? It's not great. Not great. Not good. Not good. So to see and hear these in the remastered form, well, I'm here to tell you, Arrow, as per usual, delivers. Because, I was just so stoked to see it in the quality that I got to see it in. Master Han discovers that Chao has been chosen as Qinpei's successor and becomes intensely jealous that he is going to learn the iron palm technique. So, what does any jealous motherfucker do? He conspires with Meng Dongshun to have Chao crippled. He lures Chao to the forest. He lures Chao into the forest where Dongshun's 3 Japanese thugs, yes, the Japanese are in the mix now, ambush him. They overpower him, and wouldn't you know it, they take a fucking log to his hands, smack his hands all up. Can't use them anymore. They're fucked. And, well, when you're a martial artist, and that's how you want to gain your fame and fortune, open up a school, I hate to break it to you, but you need those fists. You need those fucking fists. They overpower him and break his hands. Later, they visit the old master's school, and wouldn't you know it, they fucking kill him as well. Yep. Kill him. Yin doesn't say shit, but Yen helps Chao recuperate and again tries to woo him, but he resists her. That's Yen, not Yin. That's Yen. Finally, Chao's fellow students locate him and encourage him to regain his fighting spirit. He begins training and soon overcomes his wounds, wouldn't you know it. Yin arrives, but withholds the news of her father's death because we gotta have a pure Chao that enters the kung fu tournament, the martial arts tournament. He's got to have his mind in the right place. She lies to him, although I don't know how he didn't know, and she's almost sheds a tear when he asks, "Hey, where's Master, a.k.a. Father?" "Well, he's a little too tired," is what she said. A little too tired back then? What do you have to do besides sleep and work? You have an event every now and then. You make that event. Period. Oh, that's right. He's dead. Why am I kicking a man when he's down? He's dead as fuck. Finally, begins training. Soon overcomes. Yin arrives, but withholds the news of her father's death. A rejuvenated Chao successfully defeats all of the other students to become Qinpei's representative for the upcoming tournament. Hsiung returns to Dongshun with the news, but Dongshun's son blinds him and casts him out, rips out Master Han's eyes. You know what's fucked up is Dongshun is like, I mean, talk about a villain, right? So he sends him to do this fucking treachery, this snake shit, right? Comes back and he's like, "Hey, I kind of failed, but I got some information for you." And Meng Dongshun is like, "Hey, you broke the martial arts, the spirit of martial arts. So my henchman over here, which I think his name's like Tien, rips his fucking eyeballs out." I mean, it is fucking brutal. And I don't know if you know this, but in old Chinese kung fu movies, when you rip somebody's eyes out, you're so good at it, and it's so fast, and you're it actually seals the wound on the way out. So during the plucking, there's no more bleeding. It just seals the wound. So you can still live without your eyes after they've been plucked without your head. But it has to be done by a kung fu master, because that's how the wounds seal upon the exit of the fingers. I don't know if you guys know that, but yeah, so Master Hung is just blind now. I mean, to an extent, that's what you get. That's what you get for fucking spying, observing, rat bastard. On the day of the tournament, a conscience-stricken Chen Lang warns Chao of 3 Japanese thugs lying in ambush. So this is the forehead guy. The forehead guy who, I call him forehead. You have to see him. I feel wrong saying that, but it's a good identifier, all right? So the forehead guy who has been on Meng Dongshun's side the entire time, he was the one that came in and fucked up the martial arts school, throwing people through ceilings. He's just got a very shiny forehead. Anyway, after the plucking of the eyes of Master Han, he's out. He doesn't want any more part of Meng Dongshun's operation. This is not how we do business. You employed this guy to bring you back some information. He brings you back information, and you pluck his fucking eyes out. On the day of the tournament, a conscience-stricken forehead, Chen Lang, warns Chao of 3 Japanese thugs lying in ambush on the road to the tournament. Chao fights the thugs, killing 2 of them, which is a pretty sweet scene. Then Chen Lang he leaves Chen Lang to hold off Okada. Okada, played by Hsiung Chao. Take a drink. He stays back and he fights the big boss. And so that Chao can get to the tournament on time. He arrives just in time and defeats Dongshun's son, Xiaozhong, to win the tournament. And you remember the Qin, so the guy that Qinpei Shun, Shen Qinpei, that he goes to train with. Well, after Chao defeats Meng Dongshun's student, everybody's celebrating and everything, and he walks up to Meng Dongshun walks up to Qinpei Shin and is like, "Hey, your boy's good. He's really fucking good. I just, it's kind of a bummer. I thought that I was the more superior master. Turns out you are. Here is a knife in the belly for your troubles." Stabs him as all the... This movie's bloody as fuck. There's a lot of people to die in this movie. A lot of crucial people to die in this movie too. But I'll keep most of it to myself. But anyway, hey, that's pretty good. Pretty good on training Chao. Here's a knife in the belly. Stabs Qinpei in the midst of the celebration and departs. As Dongshun arrives back home, he discovers that all the lights are out. And wouldn't you know it, Master Han, who had his eyes plucked out, is awaiting for him. And he actually kills Dongshun's son, Tianzhong? Tianzhong? I think I got it that time. And kills his son. Master Han, he doesn't... why did I say that? He doesn't kill the son. He pulls out the son's eyes, plucks his eyeballs out just like he did to him. And then amongst the confusion, as Master Dongshun is trying to kill Master Han, he does something that you can't come back from. Okay? Does something that you can't come back from. I don't want to ruin that, but it's I think I already did by saying that Master Han didn't anyway, I think I might have already ruined it for you. Yeah, and actually that whole scene, there's a lot to take in that scene. You know what? We can leave it right there. We can leave it right there. So, it is one of the most influential kung fu movies of all time. It is Quentin Tarantino's favorite movie of all time. It is... I mean, if we're talking classic, it's one of my favorites. It's not my favorite. I'm a piece of garbage. If we're gonna talk kung fu films, like, come on, like Ip Man and Raid and stuff like that. It's just, I appreciate the classics. I'm not you who doesn't appreciate where stuff comes from. That's good. Insult your audience. I would just say, it's very hard for me to. Some of this stuff, some of it is like Mad Monkey Kung Fu or 36 Chambers, shit like that. Some of it is. But you can't compare, the final fight sequence in Ip Man 3 or 2 or 1 to some of the stuff that you see in the old Shaw Brothers. And, come on, we evolve. Bigger, faster, stronger, right? Anyway, what does this particular disc have on it? First of all, it's got fucking just bomb-ass fucking artwork for each and every film that we're about to do. But King Boxer, it's got a brand new 2K restoration by Arrow Films from a 4-scan of the original negative. Newly restored uncompressed Mandarin and English original mono audio. Newly translated English subtitles, thank God, because I've so fucking had it with shitty subtitles, dude. And it's been a while since I've mentioned it, but I knew I could fucking count on Arrow. I knew that I was going to get something that I could fucking understand. Even like some of the stuff that Welgo's releasing, who arguably is the, at the forefront of fucking releasing foreign action films. And even then, some of the subtitles, like, they just don't fucking make sense. And I bought a lot of stuff from, like, some bootleg stuff from Hong Kong. And whether the fucking, the picture quality is terrible, the audio quality is terrible, one thing that you can rely on for certain is the subtitles are going to suck. And you're going to be like, look, on the one hand, do you need perfect subtitles to understand what's going on in a kung fu film? No. But for me, I want to learn about the culture in the right way. I want to, it's 2022 and we still don't say their names properly. I don't mean like in terms of your tone and inflection. I mean like structurally. We don't say them properly. And now they're finally like, hey, it's 2022. You guys fucking grow the fuck up. You got a brand new commentary by David Desser, co-editor of the Cinema of Hong Kong and the Journal of Japanese and Korean Cinema. Newly filmed appreciation by film critic and historian Tony Rain. Good guy. Knows his shit. He seems bitter about something, but he knows his shit. The interview with director Chang-wa, filmed in 2003 and 2004 by Frederick Ambrosine. Interview with star Wang Ping, filmed in 2007 by Frederick Ambrosine. Interview with Korean cinema expert Cho Young-jung, author of Chung Chang-hwa, Man of Action, filmed in 2005 by Frederick Ambrosine. Cinema Hong Kong Kung Fu, the first in a 3-part documentary on Shaw Brothers' place within the martial arts genre, produced by Celestial Pictures in 2003. That's when a lot of these Dragon Dynasty ones came out, featuring interviews with, wait for it, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, John Woo, Sammo Hung, Gordon Liu, Lau Kar-leung, Cheng Pei, David Chiang, and so many more. I'm not even gonna lie. By the time I reached the end of this disc, I was on overload in terms of how much I learned. So the content was so robust, so fucking robust, because like, yeah, we start talking about King Boxer, but then we really, and I understand this is what the box set is for, but we really get into the history of Shaw Brothers, which we should. Like I said, I think the younger crowd needs to get a little more hip to these films and, appreciate your history to a certain degree. I'm not saying all history, relax. A lot of history is bad. But this, if we're talking cinema, this is good. This is good. Alternate opening credits from the American version titled Five Fingers of Death. Hong Kong, U.S., and German theatrical trailers, plus U.S. and TV radio spots, and, of course, an image gallery. And like I said, first thing that you see when you open is amazing artwork for King Boxer. Yeah, I mean, the action sequences in this are great. I think the way that it was done, it is no surprise that this became huge in the States. So please see the King Boxer starring Lieh, Wang Ping, Hsiung, Chao Hsiung, Feng, Fang Mien, Fang Tien, Chen, James Nam, who plays the forehead guy. Bolo Young was in this, just kind of as an extra, but he was in this nonetheless. Wen-Chung, Yukio Samono, Kim Ki-joo, Yang Sei Lin Yang, Lung Yu, Bong Jin Jin or Jing Bong Jin, Hsiung Chung, Chen Chuan, Chen Chiang. Man, you guys are probably hammered at this point. I am doing a terrible, terrible, terrible job. Yes, promising young student Chao is sent away to train under a new master in order that he may be able to win a martial arts tournament and thus prevent the local thugs from getting the power and the prestige that would come if they were to win it. It is about as stereotypical vengeance as you could get to, but I like how we get there. For instance, one of the last things I'll say on it. You know that the story moves really well if we do not see his hands get fucked up until about an hour into it. That means that we got to fast track the end. We got to fast track Act 3, and I'm fine with that. In fact, I think it gives, because when we did, like, could you, for those of you that have seen it, could you imagine if we did that at like the 25-minute mark? Could you imagine if we did that even at the 45-minute mark? Because once that happens, we don't need any more exposition. We know what he needs to do, right? Which is why I loved how that happens an hour in, and it is pedal to the fucking metal until the final closing shots, literally. And one of my favorite things about Shaw Brothers films, when the climax happens, credits roll. Actually, not even credits roll. You'll see the climax. The villain will die or whatever. They'll get the gold or whatever. The end. It's over. I miss those days. Every now and then, instead of having 4 endings to a movie, how about the ending is the climax? And I mean like legit, like we're done now. Like not, okay, where are they now? Oh, and Chao and Ying went off into the sunset. Cool. Or you could have that happen as it says the end. He kills the man, gets the girl, and fucking chucks deuces. We need to have that more often. I like that. Climax ending. Yeah. 5 Fingers of Death, a.k.a. King Boxer, a.k.a. number 1 fist in the world. Nobody calls it that. It's either King Boxer or 5 Fingers of Death. Arrow Video presents Shawscope Volume 1. 12 films. And we are on number 1. Ellis Cinema, Arrow Video, King Boxer, gone.